Okay, there we go. We're live, we're running, and we are back with the NNSCRA NR2003 Sandbox series. We featured Bluegrass International Raceway last time out with these guys, and that was about a month ago. Today we are bringing an oval track to the forefront here, a short kind of Richmond style track. It's a little higher banked, a little wider, and taking place in Mexico. This is, if I'm not butchering this, Ovales Aguascalientes, Mexico. Hope I did that right. But a track courtesy of Polar Track Designs. Link in the description if you want to check out any other work that he has done. Even though he's been out of the community for a bit, this is one of his original creations, and it's going to produce some pretty interesting racing here, I would say. Track that definitely has a good bit of character to it. He got some bumps in turn one, but entry you could really go hardcore into it, and turn three requires a little more respect, trying to get it down to speed and trying to rotate it through the corner from the feedback that I've heard from these guys so far. Tonight's race is with the DMR
User joined your channel.
16 nationwide mods. So GNS physics for tonight is qualifying just about to come to a conclusion. My man Josh
Andrew.
Mercurio is here. Yes, sir.
Hit drive.
Hit drive.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, yeah. Oh.
So we're not qualifying today.
Well, that's something different there. So qualifying is going to be random because that is one thing that has happened. You spawned into the wall. That was interesting. I wish I had the live feed up for that. That would have been funny. And hey, I got the pole. Look at that. Yeah, definitely some unfinished bits to this track, but still, I think it's going to produce some pretty good racing here. Josh, obviously, you've been running laps out there, and of course, kind of the main man putting on the show. But for this track in particular, what is it that these drivers are going to be up against here?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of challenging parts of the track. The first is actually pretty accurate to how this track races in real life. Is the front stretch is very bumpy, especially on the way into turn one. So the top end of the track has had some subsidence, so it's bumpy up there. So you'll see us probably entering turn one from the middle of the track as opposed to the top like we normally do, and that's pretty accurate to how they do that in the Mexico series as well. The second thing is turn three is very difficult. It's very slow. It's a bit slower than you would expect, kind of just driving the track like you would like Iowa or Richmond. So getting used to that is another thing to get used to, and another challenge to this track.
Good to know. So two separate sets of corners to present some unique challenges. You did also mention pit stop will probably be taking place here with about a 55 lap fuel window, it sounds like.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be 55 laps for a fuel window, but the people that have put down a lot of laps in practice have said that they're probably only getting to lap 40 on tires, so we'll see. It's going to be a tire strategy race instead.
Ooh, just another layer to it. Gotta love that. And 77 laps in total is this race. Looking like we're going to have about 7 guys out there. And again, DMR NXS 16 in use for tonight. So GNS, obviously fixed setup, 40 mile an hour pit road speed. Yeah, but kind of just I kind of described it like a kind of a higher banked, slightly stretched Richmond, it seems.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I would say, size-wise, it's pretty close to Iowa. actually a little bit smaller than Iowa in real life, but the banking is higher. So um, we'll see. We'll see what it race is like. The other rules that are going to be in place today is we can't go below the yellow line on the front stretch. And other than that, I mean, I just want to give a huge shout out to Polar Track Designs for putting this track together. I say this all the time, but I'm pretty amazed that there aren't as many Mexican tracks that have been created for NR 2003 as there have been, because considering all of the NASCAR series that run today, the Mexico series is the one running cars most like the R Cup cars in 2003. So they have the closest package to what exists in the game by default. So, I hope someone else can put together some of the amazing tracks that series runs. They put together some pretty crazy ovals and put together some great racing. So hoping to see stuff like this put together in the future.
And hoping to see some great racing tonight as well. Josh, thanks, man. Best of luck out there for these 77 laps. Hopefully, we'll get to talk to you a bit more at the end from the podium then.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
We'll get them.
User left your channel.
Happy hour just now starting to wrap up here. Again, yeah, starting lineup is going to be randomized as qualifying determined by random order after you spawn inside the wall for your qualifying lap. But that's all right. So technically, yours truly is on the pole. But in reality, it's going to be probably Matt McIntyre, because I'm sure the inside lane is just going to move forward. So Matt McIntyre, Nick Gunther are going to be on the front row. Then you're going to have Anthony McCurry, Emmanuel Hartnett, Josh Mercurio, Jonathan Peavy, Allison Rodrigo. Those are your full starters for tonight's 77-lap race. Here south of the border, Aguascalientes. Or OAM if you just want to play it safe. Get anybody that is coming by to check this out here tonight. It's been a rough week, but field is going to take shape here. I'm going to get on and off track so that I don't hold these guys up. I thought that's why Josh was telling me to get on and off track, because I was like, yeah, I don't want to hold anything up, but nope, it was because of the because of how you spawn in, which was kind of funny. The cars are now rolling. We're going to get this party started here. Track that is going to be eating up some tires here. So what the tire strategy is going to end up being is anybody's guess. Pit road, obviously going to be kind of interesting, but as you see, a very wide track for a track that's less than a mile long. Here we go, green flag in the air, and we are back at it in the Sandbox Series for the NR 2003 Track Makers Worldwide. As Nick Gunther to an early lead in that number 55. Already someone going around on the front stretch. Oh, we got a few of them. Hartnett. That's the 83. The 7. That's PB. And then you got Josh Mercurio facing the wrong direction. Don't know if they will restart for that or not. Looks like they will. Totally fair. Not sure what happened there. An unusual spot, whether that was warp or something else.
Drivers, start your engines!
So we'll try it once again. So Matt McIntyre in that 738 drop to the low side on the backstretch was letting some of these guys past. Anthony McCurry in that 61. There he is. He won the first race that we broadcast for the series at Bluegrass International by quite a commanding fashion. See if he can do it again, this time on the oval. Obviously, Nick Gunther had the advantage on that initial start. Let's see what happens this time. Green flag. And away we go. A little tire spin out of the 55, but everyone keeps it straight. And another great start there for Nick. He's going to get him to the lead. A couple guys clipping the wall there on the exit of 2. Let everyone keep it straight and clean so far. As McIntyre drops to the back already. Gunther with the lead. Followed by McCurry and Mercurio. Mercurio, this orange, white, and green, number 11. And the Abruzzi, number 61, just ahead of him. Emmanuel Hartnett there in the 83 Force India colors, and Dustin Allgaier represented by number 7 of Jonathan Peavy, who's going to take 4th place for the time being from the number 83. Allison Rodrigo there in the 5. There's McIntyre. And then we cycle back to our leader, Nick. But 2nd place, Anthony McCurry's going to spin it around. As the manual yellow is out. There's manual cautions here. So whether that was contact or not entirely sure. Let's go ahead and find out for sure. 61, Anthony McCurry through turns 3 and 4. First caution of the race. Did we have contact? Or did he just end up going around? I think he's just going to loop it all by himself. Got too high. Saw that a couple times in practice with guys trying to get a little too much crank out of the wheel, and unfortunately would send them around, and Anthony's going to be the first one to find that trouble. Not much of a hit to the wall, though, so should be pretty much unscathed. Pit road now open, as per the admins, so everybody's going to bring it down pit road. Again, 55-lap fuel window, but tires probably won't be lasting that long, so I think that any chance that you get to get yourself some tires, you're going to want it. You see Emmanuel Hartnett and Matt McIntyre both needing to back up. See who emerges off pit road first. It is going to be Nick. McCurry really kicked out the Mercurio, rather. Really kicking out the back of that car. And he will have the lead because Nick gets the dreaded EOL. In a small field like this, you can definitely work your way to the front in a hurry, so we'll see what he's going to be able to do. It looks like 5th. With Anthony being the one that went around. We'll restart at the rear for causing the yellow. Field will double up here, and it looks like they're going to give the go-ahead to throw the green flag once again on lap 7 of 77. Josh Mercurio in the lead. John Peavy to his outside. 11 and 7 here on the front row as we're back at it. Great restart for Josh. Will propel him well into the lead. And Alcin Rodrigo going to potentially take 2nd. Peavy trying to rip the outside, not going to work for him. The 5 taking 2nd. Ooh, bit of a checkup into turn number 3. Matt McIntyre will spit it out this time in anticipation of that checkup. Will they throw the yellow for that one? Looking like a no at the moment. Stuff like that does require a lot of communication between drivers and the admin, as Rodrigo gets too high up into that line that spun Anthony McCurry around. Getting kind of pinched into the wall there by the 83 of Hartnett. And Allison Rodrigo, unfortunately, going backwards. Going to try and fight with the 61, but with the preferred lane, Anthony McCurry will take that spot. No yellow called. But Josh Mercurio in the race lead. Nick Gunther up to second. And is going to try to run him down. But if we get a long run going here, you're going to want to save those good years, especially that right front, I would imagine. Yeah, McCurry's pushing it pretty good here. Just ran a 23.3, which is toward the faster end of what we saw in practice. Nick Gunther with a 23.5. Might be playing the long game. Jonathan Peavy starting to inch a little closer to him. Jokingly called him Jonathan Allgaier earlier. You know, when it comes to these tire wear races, you see comers and goers. Those that have got the short run car or the short run speed. Obviously, these guys are all running the same car here. It is fixed setup. But some guys know how to be able to get it done on the hot lap and turn as much speed as they can. Other guys will play it safe a little bit and try to manage the tires a little bit more. Or some can strike the perfect balance and find a way to make speed out of saving. See more smoke there in turns 3 and 4. I think McIntyre may have spun again based on his lap time. 35-second lap time to be exact. Focusing on the 7 at the moment. Running in 3rd behind Nick Gunther. Nick starting to creep just a little bit closer to the 11. Josh Mercurio still with the race lead. Margin about a second at the moment. Follow along with Josh here for this lap. So, yeah, turn 1, here you go. This is where you can be a little more aggressive. Obviously not too aggressive, as you mentioned. You got those bumps on the outside, which can upset the car. But then turn 3 right here, gotta really check it down and get the speed down so that you can rotate the car. And then once you get it rotated, the feedback from everybody has been, yeah, you can just mat it down the front straightaway. It's just a matter of getting that car to rotate first and foremost. You gotta keep the car to the bottom, as we've seen already after only 17 laps. Checking the lap times this time. About a 10th advantage there to the 55. So far, Jonathan Peavy sticking with these guys. So we got top 3 breakaway here. Gap is down to 3/4 of a second. Anthony McCurry trying to close after being the first one to go around. Currently on a bit of a charge. His lap times have been a little bit faster than these guys. Josh with a not so great lap that time. 23.9. That gap really closed up. Thinking we're already seeing the long game playing to the advantage of Nick. Jonathan Peavy going way high there on entry. He's not afraid of those bumps. Seems to be making it work so far. And yeah, he is sticking with Nick Gunther here, which is really, really impressive. We've seen Nick a lot of times on this channel. We know what he's capable of. We know how fast he is. And he is showing it right now. He has closed in to the tail of this number 11. And on lap 21, as Josh goes up the track into the wall, that will make it an easy pass for Nick Gunther to take the race lead. And PB follows suit, takes P2. As Josh, oh boy, he's maybe starting to struggle a little bit there. Probably just waiting to the halfway point here, and then it's like, all right, give me tires, please, for the love of everything, give me tires. Anthony McCurry continues to lurk in the background, and now it's Peavy that's starting to struggle there. Has clipped the wall a couple times. Oh, that was another smack there to the wall for Mercurio. Oh, hold on. Peavy really checking up there. Handling starting to go on the number 7 as well. All this in Nick Gunther's mirrors is getting smaller and smaller as he continues to stretch the gap. As now Anthony McCurry gets by the 11. Lap times all around are starting to fall off here. Nick Gunther, though, looking the most consistent. His fastest lap is well and truly slower than a lot of these guys. But it's showing because of the fact that now he is pulling away and he is maintaining a far more consistent speed at the moment. Matt McIntyre, I think he's continuing to struggle. He's already down 3 laps. Anthony McCurry now on the back of the 7. Try a little bit of a crossover move, maybe. He couldn't quite get the power down. Went a little too high there. It's more smoke there. In turns 3 and 4. I wonder if Alison Rodrigo may have had a problem. Over 20 seconds behind. Daniel Hartnett running top 5 right now. Just all by his lonesome. Got 8 seconds to the car in front and 11 to the car behind. As Josh Mercurio continues to slip back, Nick Gunther continues to pull away. And McCurry and Peavy looking pretty even. Although, good corner there for the 61. We'll be side by side on the front straightaway. This is for the runner-up position. Lap 29 of 77. Peavy trying to rip that outside like he's been doing. Maybe try and cross him over, but with the inside lane advantage. Anthony McCurry to the runner-up spot. Now we'll see if he has even remotely enough to try to close in on the 55. He's going to put Alison Rodrigo a lap down. Very familiar colors on that number 55. If you are remotely keen to the history of motorsports, I do believe that it was the Mazda team that brought a rotary-powered car to Le Mans and utterly dominated. If I have my facts wrong on that, please correct me, but I do believe that this scheme here is a callback to that very Mazda. And just like that Mazda Le Mans car, Nick Gunther is absolutely dominating this thing currently. Inching just a little further away from the 61, as everyone's lap times have fallen off about 7/10. So far, we are on lap 33 of 77, so we're definitely in the realm where if you want to make it to the end on a set of tires, you could probably do it. Of course, everybody did pit there on lap, what was that, 5, 6, I believe? Somewhere in that vicinity. So undercut versus overcut. Obviously, if you're anyone behind Nick Gunther, there's only one option, and that's really going to be to undercut the ever-living heck out of them. Yeah, Emmanuel Hartnett has already opted to get some tires on his number 83. And you see him coming out. Anthony McCurry. Lap times with Nick seem to have stabilized. (24.2). 24.4, so another little bit gained there. Gap's currently 1.8 seconds. And your Hartnett multiple laps down after pitting, but may have also had something happen to him. Not that we may have missed from the from some guys that were a bit further back, but and just keep an eye on that gap between first and second. Still 1.8. Jonathan Peavy, third place ahead of Josh Mercurio in fourth. Both these guys running a good several tenths slower than our top two. Side-by-side warp there for the 82. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. 2 tenths gained for McCurry that time. As we are now into the second half. Here at Aguascalientes. This track proving to be definitely a challenge on these tires and trying to make them last. As Alison Rodrigo has already thrown in the tire towel. I think that's one way to word it. Anthony McCurry is going to do the same thing and bring it down. He's going to try to undercut the 55. Again, the fuel window being over 55 laps, so fuel will not be a concern at all. It's just going to be a matter of the tires. As there you see the 11 coming in. I think he actually has a flat. Wow. Yeah, I think he actually has a flat tire there. That's the left front. That's interesting. So now we'll see when Nick decides to bring it in. See if he'll respond. Going pretty low on the track here. He is absolutely going to respond to McCurry's decision. Locks it up, but gets it down to speed. Did have that speeding penalty during that pit stop under caution. You can speed under caution in this field and it won't be much of an issue. In this case, if you speed down pit road, your day is ruined. There's only about a lap or two difference. How much is the 61 gonna gain? As off comes Nick. There's Anthony. Yeah, it's gonna be close. He will get by him. Man, that is how much of a difference that made. But now, even though it's only a couple laps, tire advantage will go to the 55. As Anthony McCurry officially takes the lead and runs his personal best lap of the race, 23.460, current fastest lap. for those keeping score, is actually Josh Mercurio right now with a 23.296. That's hauling. And Nick with a really slow lap that time. Don't know if that was an error or not, but yeah, I know that Nick is more than capable of finding speed. I mean, heck, obviously we saw it when he caught Josh earlier on and then just made mincemeat out of everyone else. So the gap at 1.2 between these drivers. Picking on everyone else. Josh Mercurio has jumped Jonathan Peavy. Josh pitted on the same lap as Anthony, and Jonathan pitted on the same lap as Nick. So that kind of explains that. Jonathan running some of his best laps of the race. 23.3s at the moment, but again, that could cause a problem in the long run. Nick has either lost some of his speed or is really, really conserving. And if he's conserving, oh boy, he is going to be running down the 61, I feel like, in these final 30 laps. Laps are clicking away fast at 23, 24 seconds a click. So this will be a quick one. But still, the track brought to the realms of NR2003, courtesy of Polar Track Designs. And you'd love to see it, because this is definitely a very unique track for a track that is less than a mile long. It's not as wide as Talladega when you when you get right down to it. What it feels like, at least. And a track taken from the real-life realm here into NR2003, and we thank Polar Track Designs for his work on this. Lap 50 of 77 now underway with Anthony McCurry out in front. Will the strategy call end up paying off for him? It's looking pretty promising at the moment. But is Nick just biding his time? Or has he lost some speed in that number 55? Gap has not shifted much. If anything, it's actually shifted in favor of that 61. 1.5 at the moment. Meanwhile, battle for the podium starting to heat up here a little bit as Jonathan Peavy closing on the 11. Ooh, is he going to take advantage of this run here? Looks like he will, and is going to, oh man, sail up there into turn 1. A little bit of a lag there for Josh. Ain't going to help matters. Ooh, don't bump him. NR2003 is not exactly conducive for bumping runs. But Jonathan Peavy up to the podium spot and takes 3rd place. Now Josh is going to try to send it in there. We'll try to at least keep somewhat of an eye on that. Meanwhile, Nick Gunther in 2nd place at the moment. And continuing to slip back here. Now it's a 1.7 seconds the gap. I do believe the strategy has paid off here for that 61. As Emmanuel Hartnett's going to pit again. Anthony McCurry looking to go 2 in a row here in the Sandbox series. 1 road course, 1 oval. If he can pull it off here. Coming around to take 22 laps to go. 2/10 gain that time for Nick. Lap traffic ahead here, and Allison Rodrigo. Small field, yeah, but hey, some competitive guys in this, like the 61, like the 55. And I'll tell you what, Jonathan Peavy been showing some incredible speed here tonight, despite falling off there in that first stint. Now pulling away from Josh Mercurio and is continuing to run similar lap times actually to our two leaders. Makes you wonder what he could have done if he was up there with them. 20 laps to go. Here from Aguascalientes, Anthony McCurry trying to go 2 in a row. Although not if Nick runs a lap like that. Man, just pulled a 23.7 out of nowhere. On tires this old, man, he really has been saving. We'll see if that can continue. And right as we say that, Anthony runs a 23.8. So is Nick. Gonna have his corner exit compromised a little bit there. Not quite over yet. Here for this race win. 23.9. 23.9. Josh Mercurio is pitting again. He could not get those tires to last. So now these top three just have to try to let these tires to the end. And see, this time it's a 24.0 to 24.1. Gap is 1.2, so Nick has closed by half a second since we last checked about 10 laps ago. He's got to keep that up if he's going to try to close in. He does have the tire advantage on paper, having pitted slightly later than the 61. As a matter of fact, it's that undercut that got the 61 to the position that he's in. And it looks like he's playing that tire strategy to absolute perfection after it looked like he was going to be out of it as far as competing for this race win. As long as these tires survive, that's all he's got to do. And Anthony McCurry can do it again. 23.9 to 24.0. Another slight bit gained. Josh Mercurio still fourth. And with some lag issues there. Yeah, we've had some sketchy moments when it comes to connection. And I believe a lot of us can blame the weather that is currently swiping America. And is inevitably coming this way. Going to be chilly times for a lot of the country, but Anthony McCurry looking red hot out in front and continuing to lay down solid lap times, still under 24 seconds. But Nick pretty much matching him punch for punch. But now you get into the realm of you can't be matching him, you got to surpass him. A little bit that time, 10.5. Gap still 1.2 though. Taking on the rest of the field. Like I said, Mercurio still holds on to fourth. Matt McIntyre rounding out the field at the moment, but still got all 7 drivers that started this thing out there. 83 and 738, both 4 laps down. Allison Rodrigo is 2 down. He's in 5th. That's Josh there in 4th. And now just looking to see this race through to the end. Or a lot of these guys. Anthony McCurry probably hoping that this race goes caution-free for these final 10 laps. If so, he's looking pretty solid, but another 10.5 gains for Nick. We are down to under a second. It's not over. Nine laps to go. Anthony still running very solid laps, 24.0, but a 23.9 for Nick that time. Look at Nick really ripping the inside. Getting that car as low as it can go. That's good, finding a lot of speed. But he's got to keep chipping. 8 to go. That time pretty even for these two. Ooh, this could be on here. It's getting down there now. That was a great corner for the 55. Off turn 4, taking 7 laps to go. Oh my goodness. 24.2 for Anthony that time. 23.9 for Nick. He is there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to have a burn burner for the win. Look at Nick diving it in there. Tire advantage finally coming his way. Anthony, though, not going to let him have it easy. They stay locked together. And Nick with the inside lane takes it. Great send there into turn number 3. And as we take 5 laps to go, Nick Gunther has retaken the points. Anthony McCurry opting to shift now to try and find some speed. But I think that's a little too late there. The tire advantage finally plays into the hands of Nick Gunther, and now he's just got to be mistake-free for these final 4 laps. Patience is a virtue. And Nick was patient with his tires. Did not push them. We thought that he had fallen off, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking to myself, oh, he ain't slow. He's just saving his stuff. He knows that he's going to be able to close. And doggone it, did he do it. Anthony McCurry, though, all credit due, though. Man, he was laying down some lap times well and truly deep into those tires runs. But that tire advantage was going to fall somewhere. And coming to the white flag now is the 55 of Nick Gunther. One more clean lap is all he needs. He's got a clean racetrack ahead of him. Looking to win it south of the border. Anthony McCurry is second. And Jonathan Peavy will hold on as well. He's going to finish third here, but out of the final corner here and winning it in Mexico, it's Nick Gunther. Masterclass of tire saving right there. A great battle between these two. Good race pump there. Matt McIntyre doing the same. Bringing it on to the front stretch. Through one of the very first series that I had streamed full time, which was the NNSCRA Winter Series, which was also run by Josh Mercurio, by the way. We've seen time and time again the skill and the prowess that this driver has. Nick Gunther burning it down. That was a beauty right there. Beautiful drive. Beautiful job of saving. And he's going to win it. Here at Aguascalientes. 1.3 seconds the final margin over Anthony McCurry. Pass for the lead there in the final handful of laps. But Anthony, credit to him, man. He gave him everything that he had, and they even stayed side by side there for about a full lap. So great racing on both their parts. They kept it clean though, which is always what you want to see. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And a great track. Great challenging track, but not anything super crazy aside from, of course, the qualifying deal. But hey, sometimes you iron those out. That was a great race there. Jonathan Peavy will emerge with third place. Awesome run for the number 7. Josh Mercurio, Allison Rodrigo, Emmanuel Hartnett, and Matt McIntyre are the full finishing results. Shout out to Jack Merkel, though, who was going to be running tonight, but unfortunately, again, for the reasons mentioned, lost internet just before the race began and could not partake. So bummer on that one. But a great creation here by Polar Track Designs, and a great race that got to showcase it here, as is the point of this Sandbox series, showcasing tracks that maybe lesser known here in the NR2003 community, but still a lot of time, a lot of effort went into designing stuff like this, and when you get to showcase it, it's a good
User
feeling
joined your
and it's a
channel.
good deal. So we give a lot of credit to Polar Trek Designs for putting this thing together, and of course Josh Mercurio for having the idea to showcase it. And we got to showcase a lot of skill here tonight from a lot of drivers, and I would argue that would include Jonathan Peavy, and he will finish third, and he is with us right now. John, do you copy?
I hear you.
Great third place there, man. You were running some lap times there that were right on par with the leaders for the most part. Had some points that you fell off, and even though you couldn't keep in touch with those two, still, that number 7, you seem to channel Justin Allgaier with how well you're able to do tonight. How are you feeling?
User joined your channel.
Yeah, it was a fun track. It was definitely challenging, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It They call it an Iowa clone. I kind of more liken it to a very small Darlington with how different the two corners were. I mean, you had a faster pace turn 1 and 2, and then you had to really slow it up for 3 and 4. And I enjoyed it. I couldn't keep my tires on it as well as the other two in front of me could, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Tire wear definitely seemed like it was a big part of it. A lot of strategy that kind of went into who pitted when and ultimately who got the lead there at one point. But for you, you and Nick seemed like you guys went the longest. But even then, it still seemed like you guys could have gone longer. But the tires were probably saying, "No, thank you," for what it seems.
Yeah, tires were giving up pretty good. And really the fronts were wearing out. Usually you have your right sides wear out, but it was more the fronts that were wearing out. Just sliding. But no, whenever I made that last pit stop, I still had a yellow tire on the left front and on the right front, but it was I saw Nick hit the pit road, and I was like, you know what? I really don't want to be stuck out here on old tires with all these guys on fresh ones. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull right in behind him.
That is a very fair call. I probably would have done the same thing. But still, hey, great run for you. And as always, whenever we get someone up here in the booth, if you want to give any closing thoughts, any shout outs, anything of the sort, we let you have the floor. So it's all yours.
Yeah, it was Give a shout out to the track maker himself. I mean, I'm not sure who made it. I don't know exactly who it was that made the track, but it was a lot of fun to drive. Was a test of skill for sure, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Um, Appreciate uh, Josh putting this on and getting all of these guys together. We had a little bit of a smaller field, but you know what? That's okay. You don't have to have a big field to have good racing. And it was a lot of fun. These guys are a good group of guys to race with. And Nick and um, Anthony are good guys to have to follow because odds are you're not going to catch them.
They are tough guys to beat. We'll get a word with them in just a moment. But John, a lot to be proud of for tonight, my man. Great run out there, and just thank you for coming out as well.
Thanks for doing the broadcast, brother. I appreciate it.
Amen. Pleasure's all mine. We will turn it now over to
User disconnected from your
the man
channel.
that ended up being the runner-up there. That is Anthony McCurry. Anthony, do you copy?
Hello.
Hello there. It was like 6 laps to go, but still, that tire call looked like it was going to be the right one. He closed on you, but you definitely gave him a run for his money. How tough was that trying to hold it side by side? Because I'm sure your tires at that point were screaming.
Ironically, it was a little easier on the outside of turn one to keep side by side when we finally caught him. But yeah, tires were getting eating up, and I'm not sure how he was running turn three, but his tire strategy was better than mine tonight. But yeah, tires were really tough to manage. For some reason tonight, the left front was the one that was the problem. Usually it's the right front, but it ended up making the car feel a little strange. But overall, it was a pretty fun race.
Interesting. Left front. Yeah, John was mentioning that a bit, but that's something different.
User joined your channel.
I'll also just ask you, in regard to that call to pit a little bit earlier, I'm sure that in your mind you're probably thinking, my only chance is to undercut him.
Yeah, pretty much my idea was to do an undercut. I wasn't sure that he was going to pit in. I think it was like a lap or a lap and a half later or something. But he came down, and then I was like, okay, well, we're on a similar strategy, so maybe we'll see what happens. And I was able to pull out in front of him after the stops, and we had been running similar lap times going up until the stops. So I said that maybe, I could save a little. We can run some identical laps and see if we can, end up running identical laps again, and he won't be able to run me down. But he found some magic late in the run, and my tires fell off like a rock about, I'd say 11 to 10 laps to go. And then that was that.
Yeah, that seemed like the name of the game, like you were saying with the tire wear, but it almost was a spin to win for you. Yeah, being the only caution. That top side in turns 3 and 4 seemed like it caught you out, but hey, you found a way to find the speed after that and almost win the thing, which was impressive.
Yeah, I was there was a little server lag on my end, I think, and I got spooked by Josh kind of going into turn three a little faster than I thought he was, and I just lost it, and it's on me. But yeah, I was hoping because, well, I didn't know that I'd be able to run down the top five or the top four. I'm sorry, the top three. I didn't realize I'd be able to run out of the top three, and all of a sudden I found myself passing Josh, and then we're passing PV. So I was like, okay, well, let's run down Nick now. And Nick and I were, I think, in sync tonight. So, but yeah, the top side really hard on turn 3 and 4. I could not figure out turn 3 and 4. Like, I ran it about 5 different ways, and none of them felt great. So I'm sure I was doing something wrong, but it's a really interesting turn 3 and 4.
Well, hey, you and Nick were definitely pretty evenly matched, even if the tire wear did end up playing more in his favor. Still, that was an impressive run for you, especially when you were slicing your way through the field there. So great stuff, great job, and great job of getting to showcase this track here. Of course, we'll talk to Nick in a second, but Anthony, you've got the floor here if you would like to close out with anything or shout anybody out.
Shout out to Nick for winning the race. He had the better tire Saturday night and deserved the win. If you need any sim racing needs and if you're getting into sim racing, need some gear, go to britsy.co.uk. They got everything you need. I recommend getting the Jimmy Broadbent gloves. They're absolutely incredible. And thank you for broadcasting, and thank Josh for putting on this league, and thanks to Trackmaker for making a really fun track. All things, even though I was kind of hard to figure out turn 3 and 4 at it.
Great job to you, man, and hey, always great to see you out here. Almost went 2 in a row, but hey, still got a lot to be proud of, man. Just glad you had fun, and thanks again for coming out.
Almost 2 in a row.
Almost, yeah.
So close. But thanks, Josh. Or thanks, Andrew.
Hey, you can thank us both. We will turn it over to the Mimikyu, Nick Gunther. Nick, do you copy?
User
Hello.
left your channel.
Winner, my man, but it was coming down to the wire there. I do have to ask you, though. I'm just going to ask. Early in that second stint, I saw you falling back a bit. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, that is totally on purpose. Was it?
Maybe. No, it's just like my plan was to actually pit a little later so I could push a little more in the last part there. But I saw him. I'm like, I kind of messed up coming out of the pits anyway a little bit, so that's how he got a little bit of time ahead of me. But it was just kind of business as usual for a tire management race. But the weird issue was it was a left front tire that I needed to save, and I don't know how to save a left front tire. I know how to save a right front tire, but I don't. But the left front tire, it should be the same thing. But I saw like go completely more lopsided as the runs went on. Like, okay, I don't know how to fix this. I actually told Anthony, pray for your left front tire, my guy, because I don't know if it's gonna last. Because I mean, I know my first run, I would, when I tried to go pit, my left front tire went red, so that's why I pitted a little bit earlier than I was hoping to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I was afraid of blowing a tire at that point. I was like, yeah, I gotta go in.
That is so backwards. Yeah, left front. That's been the story, but hey, this throws a different challenge at you.
Oh yeah, I mean, this track felt like a cornfield, but mixed with jalapenos. That's literally what this track is. It's the Iowa cornfield with some jalapenos on a stick. But
boy, I think I'm choking on
but
jalapenos
there is one critical bug with the track, and I was actually trying to bait you into joining the qualifying session.
Oh, Josh got me to do it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That was something that was like, oh, okay.
You hit the duck drive button for qualifying. You instantly get impaled. All your fuel on your engine is dead. So I mean it's a funny bug, but if you're trying to have an official points race like in the future, I would that's something that I think they needed to like fix. That's other than that, the track is really fun. Like it has its own unique challenges, especially with the left front being the one that has like the tire being worn. I was actually considering 2 tires at one point, but then I was like, nah, it's still too far, and my left front tire was getting worn out.
Yeah, that is so strange, but I'll just ask you, and then we'll wrap it up. But in those final 10 laps there, when you really came to life, it seemed like Anthony maybe found his like kind of tire cliff, but at the same time, man, your lap times never faded, and by the time you were side by side with him, you were in the preferred lane. It was game on. Going side by side there, what was it like? And do you feel like you were able to just find that extra gear at that point, like you saved enough, or was it more so him falling off?
I think it was a combination of both. Like I knew Anthony's tires, especially with him being 2 laps older than mine. I was like, okay, he's gonna hit a cliff a lot sooner than I would, so I'm just gonna save as much as I can. But like I even go like maybe like 75% like strength or 70% strength. As long as I match his lap times, which I kind of was doing, which he was running like 24 ones, I think it was. I was like, all right, whatever. And then it was like 10 to go. It's like, okay, I'm still matching pace with them. I gotta get moving. So I actually picked up my pace from like 24 ones to like 23 8s and 23 9s, and I eventually ran him down.
And still managed to keep the car under you. That is impressive.
I was actually
given that
hoping for
point
the
in the
car to
run.
kick out a little bit more.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. My man, great run. I was hyping you up there during the burnout, just with for getting to showcase your abilities in this game, and tonight was no different. Of course, Anthony, same goes for him. But man, yeah, you're definitely one of the big dogs, I would argue. So very nicely done. You put it on full display here tonight. I won't stroke your ego too much more, but instead I will let you have the floor.
Yeah, first off, I want to thank Josh for putting this series together. I want to thank the track makers for putting this track together. I thought it was a pretty unique challenge for tonight. Thank you, of course, Andrew, for broadcasting this race. Thanks to Anthony for putting on a good show. I'm glad to see that you're learning a whole lot more with your tire management there, especially since he's been getting a lot better on the ovals. Like, he's definitely learned a lot over the last few months for sure. So he's definitely graduating the Gunther Academy for ovals with honors.
With honors. Hey, when the teacher is able to fight with or when the student is able to fight with the teacher that closely, you know you've done something right. So
yeah, he's been doing it a lot more often. He's been doing it a lot more often.
you put it on full display tonight. Great job, my man, though, and yep, something to be proud of there. How's about you go celebrate Mexico style? I don't know what that means, but
It's called having a fiesta.
I shouldn't be doing that. Honestly, every time I think of a mariachi band, all I think of is Q from Star Trek. I'm immortal again. If anyone gets that reference, I love you. Great job, man, and great win. Hope to see you out there in the next one.
All right, I'll see you then.
That was Nick
User left
Gunther,
your
tonight's
channel.
race winner. Before we wrap up, though, Josh is back in here again. Josh, I'll throw it your way here in a moment, but first I'll just have you reiterate kind of the point of this series to anyone that may be coming by this one for the first time who didn't see the first stream that we did, and just kind of the point of the NR2003 Sandbox series.
Yeah, so what keeps this game alive are the people that create things for this 23-year-old game. Is it 23 still?
Yeah, 23, I think, in a few weeks.
Yeah, so almost 23-year-old game. The people that make the mods on the tracks and run the leagues and all those things, that's what keeps this community alive. And I think now that we have a real NASCAR game that's doing well and is back up, it's important for us to go back to our roots and appreciate those things. So the purpose of this series is, yes, to race and have that competition, but really it's to show off the work that a lot of people do, or that a few people do for the rest of us. And so this week we're thanking Polar Track Designs, who's put together a couple tracks and kind of stepped away from the community. And then next month we've got another guy, and he was designed his first track, and it's going to be amazing. It's like another Iowa-sized, Richmond-sized track, but the front stretch has 50 feet of elevation gain, so it's going to be an entirely different environment to something that we've ever raced. So it's going to be amazing, and I'm so excited for all of the other track makers that have joined our Discord and are working on their own projects and submitting them. And I just can't wait to continue to celebrate all this amazing work that's being done.
50 feet of elevation there. That's on a short oval. That'll look like you're climbing a mountain, but that's going to be pretty cool to see. Hopefully, we'll be able to make it for that one. Thank you, Josh, for, of course, always giving me the opportunity to do this, despite things that are going on. But hey, as I've been told before by racers, whatever's going on in your life, when you come into this realm of NR 2003, you're able to just focus in, race, have fun, and just show an appreciation for this game that, as you said, 23 years approaching.
Can't believe it. I can't believe it.
It's still kicking butt. It is still going pretty darn strong, given the age. Josh, is there anything that you wanted to close out with?
Yeah, I want to thank the guys that raced tonight. All 7 of us. We put on a good show. I hope that we continue to do that. Get more people. Thanks, Robbie.
Still live, Robbie. That was Robbie Gilvin, everybody.
Yeah, I know Saturday's a big, busy day. There's like 5 or 6 leagues that run on Saturdays, so I love all the people that can take time out of not only their NR schedules but their real life schedules to make time to race and broadcast. So yeah, thanks everybody.
And just glad to be a part of it. And hey, yep, thank you to everybody for coming by. Hopefully everybody stays safe. That's going to be part of this big weather storm here, even though it's probably not super crazy. I don't know. I guess we'll find out here in the New England area. Thank you to anybody that did come by. Of course, after this, we can always go and check out the still going on 24 hours of Daytona, which is pretty cool to see that the real life motorsports season is just starting to get underway here shortly. Of course, it always starts with 24-hour Daytona and then actual Daytona 500 just a few weeks away as well. We've got the Top Trackers Open coming up on AG's channel, so we're excited for that. Yeah, just trying to keep busy while things get a little chaotic elsewhere. But again, thank you to anybody that came by and checked this out. Thank you, Josh, again for putting on this series and for bringing me on board. And thank you to everybody who raced. And congratulations to Nick Gunther on an awesome win and a great track and a great race that we got to see tonight. Stay safe, y'all. And remember, there's no more important person in your life than yourself. That was random, but honestly, I think more people need. I think more people need to hear that. Take care. Bye for now. And stream is ended.
All right.